Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to use a gradient feather. So that's this tool located over here in InDesign called the gradient feather tool. Okay, so let's see how this works. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a Command D to place an image on the page. So I'm going to pick up my usual one, which is the minions. Loads my cursor. I'm just going to drag that so it goes right across the page from side to side. Now it's come out proportionally, so as I've grabbed it, it's dragged it out proportionally. I'm just going to make the frame a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to drag the window of the image frame a little bit shorter, but then I want to right mouse click and tell it to fit and fill frame proportionally so I see a bit more of the image. Then I'm just going to draw out some text as well, so I'm just going to draw out a text area like this just below the image, and I'm going to go to type and fill that with placeholder text. Now I don't want it as one big long column going across. I'm going to come up here and just split that up into 3 columns as well so that you can see my text is there underneath. I'm going to go back to the image. I'm going to add some rounded corners. I'm going to go to the Alt, hold down the Alt key and then click this icon up the top here. And I'm going to add a rounded corner on the bottom and a rounded corner on the other side, so both the left and the right bottom, and just increase that up to around about 15 mil. So that you can really see those rounded corners coming in here at the bottom of the image. Click OK. So how does the gradient feather tool work? Well, what I can do is I can get that image to blend into a little bit at the bottom here. So if I just raise that text up a little bit, so we've got a little bit of an overlap here on the text and the image. If I now select the image, go pick up my gradient feather tool. Now the idea here is that you click from inside the image outwards, so you click from somewhere in the middle or towards the middle of the image, and then you click and drag down and it applies this sort of gradient feather. Now the shorter the click and the drag, the sharper the gradient break, and you can see that I've gone at a slight angle as well. So to stop that you can hold down the shift key, will keep a perfectly straight line. The longer the click and drag that you do, if I hold down shift again to keep a straight line, the more sort of subtle the fading of that image occurs. I just want to have someone around about there, something like that, and when I click off, what you'll see is that there's a nice blend between those two. So if I just click off and then go into preview with W, you can see the effect that I'm trying to create on the edges there. Okay, so if I press W again to come back into my normal view, I'm just going to delete this, just undo my feathering that I've applied to my image. I'm just going to delete this text frame here as well, and I'm just going to show you what else you could do as well. So I might place a text frame, for example, over this edge here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put a text frame over there, and I'm going to go to type again and fill with placeholder text. I've got some text in there, but now I want the image to fade into that. So I'm going to go and select my image, going to pick up the gradient feather tool, and this time I'm going to hold down the shift key and click and drag from the side towards the text frame, and just before I get towards the text frame I'm just going to let go. And again, if I click off anywhere and then go to W, you can see the effect that has. We have this sort of gradiated feathering going into my text on the side. So that's how you can use the gradient feather tool to apply this effect across your images.